So I wanted to give you this opportunity also just to go around the table. Like, what is your main advice to get started with circular procurement from your experience? And I'm actually going to start with Andreas here in the studio.
Good question. Well, circular procurement, since I'm not into procurement but into criteria development, I maybe should focus in on that. But if I were to give you one advice, is to map out the needs of your organization and start buying products that are able to be used for all different categories of users, because that, I think, will help you use your products for a longer period of time. And the second thing is, make sure to buy products that are repairable and upgradable, because else you will never reach those goals of extending the lifetime twice folded or thrice, or whatever your goals might be, because that is key, I think.
Thank you. Steve?
I think that's good advice. I do think that the word sustainability is a very deep and wide subject matter. So I think for any organisation is to understand what sustainability means to them, and it could mean responsible disposal. It could mean extending the life of the asset. It could mean buying a refurbished or remanufactured device. But that's the first thing, and then align yourself with the organisation that's supplying you. You know, insist that they demonstrate sustainability to you, and they will follow. They will.
Thank you. Sebastian?
Yeah, I think it's part of what Steve said. And I would also add that Siddharth was talking about like embedded value, and it's important to think about that. And at Inrego, we can reuse 92% of everything that we get in. The 8% we cannot reuse is things that doesn't have an economical value anymore because it comes into us too late. So we actually need to look upon how do we get back products. I think the procurement is one question. And then another more unexplored question is how do you have the take-back systems working to actually get the products. And I think I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have two municipalities working really great here. And when Malmö were starting to look at this, I think you said in the report that it was several thousand IT equipment that you found all around the municipality. And I think that's interesting. And it looks like that in most companies and municipalities. And you cannot believe of how old IT we get in when we get a new customer. It's really old. So it's look at what you have today and get rid of it. If you're not using it, put it to the next user, and we'd love to buy it from you.
Thank you. That's a good call. Josephine.
Thank you, Sebastian. Yes, actually, that was a very successful campaign. Collecting, I think the result was 7,500 products in one day. So we had a large truck outside the town hall and people coming in, just filling it up all day. And it was a good awareness raising campaign, as well as I think as we talked about before, the financial aspects, not to forget the aspects of all the storage space that costs money that we saved. So yes, definitely. But for the lowering the threshold question, I think what you can do already now, create cooperation between your IT or client management, sustainability and purchasing, maybe even communication departments, make those functions talk to each other, discuss these questions. Communications between, because as we talked about, it's a lot about behavioral change to achieve circularity. And I think from the buyer side, I would say don't be afraid to steal from others. As both the public, private, civil society sector, academia, organizations that work with this are committed to and motivated to sharing the knowledge, to spreading the word, to even sharing criteria that we use documentation, everything. So just steal what is already out there instead of trying to invent the wheel.
Very good advice, Josephine. Thank you for that. Johan?
Well, first of all, I think Josephine is absolutely right. There's so much out there already, so much being experimented with, or actually in large scale tenders. So have a look around, search for things, call people, email me if you want to. To start with, from procurement, I think there's a lot of stuff you can directly do. One of the most important things is to be aware that circularity is about at least arranging kind of control on the reuse after your product, ending up with end-of-life recycling, but try to find suppliers that supply you with refurbished equipment, that take them back. So it's a question how to get all this to Sebastian, I guess. From procurement point of view, you're in the position to put all that in a contract. You can put in your contract that you want a supplier, in your tender and in your contract, that you want a supplier that repairs and refurbishes and takes back, has a return logistics system in place that will create jobs, by the way, which for public organization is very beneficial as well. So arranging that is the one thing. And the other thing is arrange collaboration in your own organization, but also outside of your organization. You will never get commitment for circular economy if you don't work with your whole organization, and you will never close loop if you only keep on pushing and focusing on procurement. So get the supplier on board, get your waste manager on board, try to make a connection between waste management and the designers. So together you can set steps towards closing loops, and do that on your own scale. If you work in a small municipality or at a big corporate, or like I am at a national government, you have a different scale on which you can operate. We are now setting up a Circular IT Pact, which will be an international procurement collaboration on creating market demand, and collaborating with that market to know what we will work on. It came across a few times. Sorry, I'm taking my time now.
Yes, it's running short
it's very
now.
Interesting that just one small example about influence from the market. IT is a global market. It's very difficult to influence. And we calculated that as a national government, what we buy on laptops and computers in a year is not even a day's production for HP. So our power to convince them to do it otherwise is very limited unless we collaborate with them and with other procurement organizations. And that's what we try to do in the IT Pact. So collaborate on your own level and collaborate in the supply chain. That's a simple step you can take. You can call your supplier tomorrow and invite him.
Thank you. Birgitte?
Yeah, it's difficult to keep on finding new things to say because everything is so nice, and I agree. But maybe I should say something about be patient, because it could take a long time to make this process and get people involved and change mindsets and get the market involved and so on. So just be patient. And maybe you don't get a yes if you want to cooperate with a lot of people, internal and external. So just keep on and find some good goal you'll get if you start to work circular, and then keep on saying that. So that's I think
good
you
advice.
Can manage then.
Thank you. Siddharth, shortly, your experience and final remarks here.
I think almost all has been said, but what I would like to say is, for quick wins and as a quick step, if everything looks so complex right now, then go for the eco labels, type 1 eco labels as technical specifications and also as means of verification. So at least you can start there, because these criteria of type 1 eco labels, they do have requirements for durability, for repairability, spare parts availability, and all these aspects related to circularity. So at least start with the type 1 eco labels for technical specifications. And also at the same time, there is a lot of work on green public procurement criteria done by the European Commission, and this all information is available online. So you have the EU GPP criteria published online, with that can be used by public procurement agencies in Europe, which can be copied into your contracts. There they define means of verification for you as well. So the workload would be much less. And finally, of course, please don't fall behind than what the available technologies and management systems are already offering to you. So at least use notebooks for at least 6 years, and then encourage a second use by entering into innovative partnerships with refurbishment companies in order to create more demand for second-hand products. So this is all I would like to say.
Thank you. So with that, I'd like to thank the panel for your contribution today, for sharing your insight, knowledge, and expertise.